how to get out of the friend zone. I know there are some men out there that think that just being in the friend zone is enough. And maybe they're so lonely, they've been out of the dating market for so long that just having a positive social interaction with a woman is enough. They just want to be friends. They just want to be associated and the friend zone is enough. But for the men out there, the bachelors who are interested in getting out of the friend zone because that's not enough and staying out of the friend zone so they can have a romantic relationship with a woman, these are the tips that I'm going to give you in order for you to be successful. Number one, let's talk about the friend zone, what it means. When you're in the friend zone, it means that a woman feels comfortable being vulnerable around you without an emotional or without a romantic relationship. And when you feel like dating her and she doesn't feel like dating you, your goals for the relationship are misaligned. And so when you think about the different steps a relationship can take and where you have vulnerability with a woman and she feels comfortable being vulnerable around you and you're trying to push for that intimacy, the woman will shut down the intimacy because she does not see you as a romantic partner. And so anything that feels intimate, anything that feels beyond sharing vulnerabilities, anything that gets to that next level that can trigger romantic feelings, she'll shut down right away because you got to vulnerability the wrong way. And I'm going to show you how you can get to that level again, that level of vulnerability again, the right way so that it can lead to intimacy. Number one, it starts off with accountability. You want to establish yourself. And if you have to pull away from the friend zone a little bit and break contact for a little bit to work on yourself, work on your personal accountability. Work on your hygiene, work on holding yourself accountable for your actions and the impact of your actions. If you have goals that you've said that you're pursuing, if you have a career that you said that you're pursuing, if you plan on getting a degree or a certification that you said that you wanted to pursue, start holding yourself accountable for the goals that you set out for yourself. Establish yourself as a man in her life and as a man that is an accountable man. A man that has a firm foundation, a man that will do what he says, and he says what he will do. And in order to do that, you need to establish your personal accountability. You also need to establish your personal accountability because at some point in the future, when you're romantically connected to the woman, she's going to look at you as someone, and she's going to ask herself, is this someone that can hold me accountable? Is this someone that is going to hold himself accountable? Is this someone that can hold my son or my daughter that I have accountable? And in order to answer yes to all of those questions, she needs to see personal accountability from you. The next thing is communication. Now, this is a big one because this is what got you into the friend zone to begin with. Make sure that when you're communicating clearly. Make sure that you're not just delivering the message or delivering the thing that you want to communicate to her clearly, but you're also creating a space for her to communicate clearly to you. Also remember, and I talk about this a lot, remember that communication is more than just verbal. You can also communicate with your eyes. She can communicate with her eyes. You communicate with your hands. You can communicate with your feet. You can communicate with your posture, your body language. She can also communicate in all of those ways. So make sure that you get better at communicating clearly. That's very important. If there's a miscommunication where you want something more in the relationship, but you're not able to say it, that needs to be fixed. That mechanism that says, I feel something, I want to say something, but I don't know how to say it, or I don't have the courage to say it, that's a communication issue on your part. Work on the communication issues so that you can communicate your intentions with her clearly. And then also create a space for her. Don't just overtalk her. Create a space for her to communicate clearly with you. Some of the things that she says may hurt. Some of the things that she says may jog your peace. But think about the things that she tells you to work on, or the things that she tells you that she needs. Think about those things as a plan of action that you can go out and do to become a better version of yourself. And you'll make yourself right for her or someone like her. The next thing is transparency. And like I said, this is another hot button issue because this is what got you into the problem of having vulnerability with a woman that is not interested in you romantically. You want to make sure that you are transparent with your intentions with her and your intentions in the relationship. It is possible for you to look at her, smile on your face in kindness and love, and you can tell her, look, I see us not just being friends. At some point, I see us having a healthy relationship and a beautiful relationship based on genuine trust. She may not see it, right? But by you being transparent with your intentions, you force her to make a decision. She can either say, you know what, I'm not ready yet, but maybe in the future I'll consider it. She may say, you know what, I'm not ready and I don't think I'll ever be ready. That's another situation. It is what it is. If you don't make your intentions known to her, if you're not transparent with her, you'll never know whether or not she has opened the door for you. You will never know whether or not there's a possibility that you can go forward with her. And if she shuts you down, right? And that's happened to me in my life. If she shuts you down and says, you know what, I'm not interested. I don't think I'll ever be interested. Great. You can always go out and start working on yourself and find someone like her. Who knows, you might find someone better than her. If you're honest with your emotions, if you're honest with your intentions, if you demonstrate transparency, you will never go wrong. Even if she rejects you, you will never go wrong. Now, let's say you're transparent. You say, you know what, I see us as something more. I see us, if you're open to it, or I'd like you to consider going out on a date with me, not just as friends, but as romantic partners or as my girlfriend. If she says yes, great, you're off to the races. If she says no, not right now, okay, ask her, part of communication, ask her, why is she hesitating or what makes her feel reluctant? You want to really break it down. Is there something that you did? Is it something that you said? Is it something is it something that you're wearing? Is it something that is it something that you're doing with your life that she thinks is incompatible? You want to find out what her issue is. Think about that as a survey or as a piece of feedback for yourself. Because it may not work with her, right? But it may work with someone like her later on. And you can use the information that she gives you to prepare yourself for the person that you're actually supposed to be with. Now, she shuts it down right away and you guys are friends and you lose a friend, it is what it is. It's better for you to move on from a situation and go out and find someone who is better suited for you than it is to hang out in the friend zone with someone who never and will and never see you as someone that they can potentially date. After you master that transparency, then you get into vulnerability. Then you get into those conversations that you've already been having where you're sharing things that are happening in your life, and you're also listening to her share things that she's vulnerable about happening in her life. You'll be able to talk about personal relationships and family relationships. You'll be talking about failures and successes in your career or in your academic journey, and you'll be able to listen to her and provide that emotional support for her when she shares things that she's vulnerable about. When people say, I don't want us to date because I don't want to lose our friendship, many times women are referring to that safe space of vulnerability. And they are concerned that if I begin to date you, I'm going to lose this space of vulnerability that I have with you. And it's important for you as a guy to say, just because we begin dating does not mean you're going to lose this safe space of vulnerability. Let her know that is still the goal, but you want to have that level of vulnerability and something better. It's going to be better than the relationship that you already have. And who wouldn't take a chance? If you're in the friend zone with a woman that you're very attracted to and you think she's a good match for you and you're a good match for her and you want nothing but the best for her, explain to her, use your words, communicate and be transparent. You want to let her know that this space that you share, this relationship, this friendship that you share with me is only going to get better when we start dating. And then also let her know that even if it doesn't work out as romantic partners, right? You'll still have me as a friend. You'll still have this space where we can fall back on it and we can still be transparent with each other and we can still have this space for vulnerability with each other. We can still be emotionally supportive of each other, even though it doesn't work out with me romantically, or even though it doesn't work out with you all romantically. After that space of vulnerability is established, you worked up accountability, you worked on your accountability, you worked on your communication, you worked on your transparency, you got through that space and you created that safe space for vulnerability as romantic partners. The next step is intimacy. You want to make sure that you are expressing your emotions in the times when your emotions feel the strongest, in the times when her emotions feel the strongest. You want to make sure that you are sharing those emotional experiences in life and those emotional milestones in life with her. And you want to make sure that you're participating in that experience. Now, a lot of people will say, with physical intimacy, it's pretty easy for me to participate in the experience because I'm there physically. But there's also other levels of intimacy with respect to spiritual intimacy or mental intimacy, where you're trying to rack your brain and figure something out, and you're working through the creative process, and you're trying to solve a problem, and then you're there or she's there to support you mentally. There's spiritual intimacy where you're struggling with something in your spirit, something doesn't feel right in your emotions, and she's there to support your growth spiritually, or she's there to support your growth and your recovery emotionally. There's a lot of different types of intimacy that you can have with her after you've established that safe space of vulnerability. And there's a whole new world out there. Many people have long-term relationships and they never get a chance to experience that world of intimacy. And you can. You can if you follow those steps. Start off with accountability, move to communication, work on your transparency, create a safe space for vulnerability, and then get into that intimacy. In that intimacy, you'll get yourself a girlfriend. You'll be able to live in that world of intimacy as she becomes your fiance. You'll be able to get married and have a whole bunch of children if that's what your heart desires. But that's that heaven on earth. That's that space that as bachelors we work toward. That's that space that we fight for. That's that space that we sacrifice for. We want that level of intimacy with the person that we care about, with the person that we love. And you can still have it, even though you find yourself in a friend zone.